Bravo friends, and welcome to another pre-recorded video. For those of you who are still not aware, I am on a mission in Slovenia and I will be back this October, and so that is when hopefully more videos will start coming out. I guess when this video comes out, I would have been on my mission for maybe a little over a year or something like that. I would have been on my mission for a while at this point, but actually when I'm filming this right now, it is currently 4 days until departure time. You may have noticed some of my background ornaments disappearing here and there, but by tomorrow all of this will be gone. And I'm gonna have to say goodbye to my sewing machine, and I'm like getting emotional just thinking about it. So yeah, it's only temporary and it'll be fine, but I'm gonna have sewing withdrawals, you guys. So today, we're making another dress for the mission wardrobe. So this is what I call, or have decided to call, the calico critter dress, because it looks like something a calico critter would wear, and let's face it, I am pretty much a calico critter, but you know, minus being an animal. I decided to make this dress because I had so many red patterned fabrics that looked really good together, and I was like, this would just make a really cute patchworky kind of dress with lots of different fabrics in it, and so that's why I decided to design this dress. Also, what's really special about this is that the vest is made out of two fabrics that my grandma gave me when I was a kid, and it came in the form of a little pioneer costume. And so I've been recycling those scraps a little bit, using them for different aprons and skirts. I'm basically going to make a very simple dress underneath, and it's just going to be long sleeve, high neck with a little clasp at the top here, and then it's going to have this little over vest thing, I don't know, like a little vest overdress thing made of this fabric and this fabric. So that's basically the plan, and then there's probably going to be some sort of red belt. So this is the basic idea, and then we're just gonna go with that. For my bodice, I actually just used the same pattern from my Forest Wanderer overcoat, minus the skirt, of course, and I cut that out of this rose fabric. Here are the pieces I cut: the bodice, the collar, the sleeves, the sleeve cuffs, the skirt, and then I cut out a skirt ruffle to go to the bottom of the skirt, which I will explain later how that happened. Also, I cut out a muslin lining for my bodice, and I sewed my lining together, and then I cut out 6-inch bones and 8-inch bones for the front and back of my dress. These bones are just meant to smooth wrinkles and prevent puckering, so I didn't use that many bones, although I will mention that for this 1/4-inch boning that I like to use, I like to insert 2 bones per channel just so that it's less flimsy. I enclosed these in my grosgrain ribbon, or twill tape works as well, with a zigzag stitch, and then I inserted my boning, sealed that up, and then stitched it to my lining. I then sewed my bodice together and pressed it with my tailor's ham. I serged together my sleeves, and I gathered the top and bottom. That is a very billowy sleeve. Looks pretty good to me. It's pretty big. Once I had tailored my sleeves to my liking, I stitched them inside the bodice. Alright, so here's the situation with the skirt. I was indeed, in fact, short a couple yards of fabric for the skirt, so my skirt pieces, which are inside out, I don't even know which way I'm looking at it. Okay, so this is one of the skirt pieces, and as you can see, it is quite short. So I went to the store to buy more of this fabric because I wanted to, I decided that I think it would be cute to do like a red patch on the bottom, but like I didn't have enough of my red fabric to do that. And so I went to the store and I was just gonna buy like more of this fabric, but then they were out of this fabric, but they did have the white rose print, which is basically the same thing, but the roses are like a white rose. And so I'm gonna do a patch of this on the bottom. So I believe this is 16 inches thick, and then these are 28 inches long. But yeah, so that's my plan. I'm gonna make these skirt panels and then gonna put the white rose patch on the bottom. And actually it's more of a ruffle instead of a patch because I decided I wanted to gather it too. So it'll just have like a separate like patchwork ruffle on the bottom, if that makes sense. You'll see. So I serged those together, and just like in my teddy bear dress video, you want to leave those side seams open for pockets. So attach those pockets, and then I serged together all of my ruffle panels, and then I serged the hem before hemming it. Then I gathered the heck out of that ruffle. And it was kind of funny because there was like a lot more fabric in this than there needed to be, so I ended up with a really nice full ruffle. And even after I had finished putting the ruffle in the dress, I found there was like another section of ruffle that I forgot to sew in, so I just left it out. But yeah, lots of fabric in that ruffle. Pin and sew the ruffle to the top part of the skirt. I then gathered the whole skirt and I serged the ends of the center front, opening on the fashion fabric and lining. And I also hemmed the lining as well. I joined my bodice to the lining, under stitch, and I only needed to do the center front closures. And then I joined my bodice to my skirt and skirt lining. Before hand sewing, I decided to work on my vest. Okay, hi, hello. So I'm going to explain like how I'm drafting the pattern for this little vest thing, because it's actually very simple. So I've done a little block pattern, and it's actually just, and I'm just gonna stop myself there because I ended up changing this completely because I didn't like the way it turned out, but I thought you might as well see what it looked like before. So what it previously looked like was this very straight vest, and it had 4 panels. It had 2 front and 2 back pieces, and I wanted to keep the design fairly simple, but I also wanted it to have structure because this fabric was very thin, and so I inserted a canvas lining. And this canvas lining was really problematic because although it did add a lot of structure, it took away from a lot of the shape because it kind of just smushed me into this very flat shape, and it's kind of funky when you pair that with a full skirt, because it kind of looked like a mermaid dress, so that I was like really skinny up here and then it was like at the bottom, and I was like, nah, that's not happening, fam. So I like unpicked the entire thing, and it was serged together. Like I had stay stitched the canvas to the other fabric with my serger, which was a really bad idea, but I managed to make it work, and I unpicked it, and I unpicked it so fast it took me like under an hour, which was kind of impressive. So yeah, right now you see this is what I've got. This is not going to be as long. It's gonna like kind of switch fabrics about here, like mid-hip, and then I originally had this just going to be one long vest, and then there would be this red belt. I have unpicked all of the seams, and I'm starting over completely. Well, not completely, but like I'm gonna keep these pattern pieces, and what I've done is I've marked a few inches below my bust line, because I think what actually might help the shape is if I added more fabric to this top bit and gathered it under the bust. I think that would look really nice. And then I'm gonna like have it kind of cut off and make like a waistband, I think. So I cut the vest at the bust line marking. So what I'm doing here is I am marking these 2 pins where I would like the ruffles or the gathers to go from. So I want them to go from here to here, and then I marked my apex where I want the gathers to come up to, which means from this little triangle here, that's where we need to add more fabric for it to flare out. And now I cut the fabric up to that pin that I had marked on my bust, but I actually found that the slash and spread worked better if I had cut it further up. So I cut it about like up to here on the pattern, just to give myself some more flair when I spread out the pattern, and I kind of just played it by ear. After adding more material, I ran a gathering stitch where I had marked with my pins, And here's what it looks like. And you know when you're done gathering as soon as it becomes the same length as the bottom half of the vest, so you don't have to worry about the size there. Then I cut this roughly 4-inch wide strip to top stitch to the waist. And this was just the old waistband of the apron that I stole it from, so I didn't really have to do much sewing there. But I think it was in like a tube form, so yeah, like a 4-inch wide tube that was pressed. And I decided to gather the checkered patch at the bottom. I serged it on good sides facing, and then I top stitched some lace over that seam. And then I added a muslin lining, and the pattern for the lining didn't change from my first pattern from this vest. That one stayed the same, but yes, no canvas this time. Then I understitched that. Oh, and make sure that you're understitching your seam to the lining and not the fashion fabric like I did here. So yes, this was the second time I had to unpick that vest, and this time it was much harder, and I probably lost like a day of work here, but you know, that's just what happens when you don't make a plan. But it worked out anyway. I think I'm like about to cry for how stupid I feel. I made so many errors on this project, but it's all good, it's all good. And then I hand sewed the inside of the lining down at the hip because that's where I had the ruffle begin. And then I decided to return to the main dress, and I added a collar and sleeve cuffs before hand sewing all of those down to the inside. Stitch down a hem on one side of the skirt closures, and then I overlapped it 2 inches and top stitched up the skirt until about 6 inches from the waist.
Oh, guys, the power is out. I've been wanting this to happen for a long time. Why? Because I like when the power goes out, because then I get to light candles and pretend like I'm a peasant. There was like a lot of snow last night, so we're just like completely buried. I mean, you can't really see anything, but yeah, I'm gonna get some candles lit, and we are going to do some hand sewing. It's currently like 5 a.m. so.
And from then on, I did most of my hand sewing in the dark, so the filming process was far too difficult, so I will just show you everything that I did with some occasional supplemental footage. So hand sew the waist lining, the arm side, the inside of the collar, the clasp at the top, the buttons and the buttonholes, the sleeve cuffs and the sleeve buttons, and then more lace if so desired. On the vest, I added these buttons with baker's twine string closures, so they're just like little loops that I tied in a knot and stitched those inside the fabric. And I used an awl to like poke the fabric open and then shove the little knot in there and then kind of stitch that in place. I added more lace, and I stitched the arm side closed as well. And then I totally forgot to mention this because this wasn't originally supposed to be in the video plan, but I made this belt that is made from like pretty much all the scraps from this project. Even some fabrics that I didn't use for anything else because there was only like that much of it. But yes, it's got more baker's twine, it's got some hand-worked eyelets, and some cute buttons. And yeah, I did not film the process of making this because I didn't have time, but it was just more like a little bonus project, but you will see it in the reveal, which is now. Let's go. Put all of this on, and then show you the results. that is how I made my calico critter dress. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you thought it looked as cute as I feel in it. So yes, leave a like, and I guess if you want to leave a comment, I can try, and I probably won't be able to respond to it forever, so leave a comment if you wish. I miss you all. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful time doing whatever you love doing, and I don't know what else to say. I just miss you, and I miss sewing, and I love you all. Nas videnje, adio, in ljubim. Anyway, I'm sure I'm fine by now, but yeah. Am I even filming? Did I press record? Okay, we're good. You know, fully grown into the body that I have, hopefully. I don't know what, just cut out whatever you want to cut out. I'm just blabbering nonsense. Oh, that's a zigzag. That's not what I wanted to do. And I cut out 6-inch. Okay, so I'm laughing because I needed to use the car this morning to get more fabric because I was out of this fabric, right? My dad needed to use the car too, so he told me that he'd preferably like me to be back before 10:30, so I did. And it's now 2:06, and I don't know if he's left yet. How's your day going? Like, I just broke the thread. Oh, and my bobbin is out too. I'm trying to be fast, okay? Jeepers creepers. I have to go tell Mommy. Mom, I'm a calico critter.
You are a calico critter. No, you need a giant bow in the back.
Yeah, I do. I love it so much.
Oh, it's so cute. I love it. I love it.
Whoops.
Activities like painting bread with edible paint. Is it even filming what I'm saying? It glitched for a second. I love it. This one has yet. This one also. Should we make a face for Bethy?
Yes, we should. We should make something really cute. A fish face. We're gonna make it a blue fish because Beth likes blue.
Clown core.
No.
The best core. Whoa.
Maybe it'll look better once it's baked, you know? I don't think that will
That's
help.
what they said in Sleeping Beauty.
And you saw how that turned out. I don't know. I don't
Oh, now it looks like hot sauce. That's not what I wanted. My paint.
It probably won't look like hot sauce on the bread, you know?
You can't spell paint without pain.
This is the new Starry Night. Van Gogh, Step Aside.
You. Fish.
What?
What's done is done. Wait, what is that from? Oh, wait.
Does this look like a fish that's being eaten by a bigger fish? Sure. Let's see. Give me this knife.
Oh gosh. More paint, more cutting.
I'm just digging myself into a deeper hole. I don't know what I'm doing.
It looks great.
Olivia, don't tell
look
me.
at mine and
Don't tell me bold-faced lies.
Is that enough harmony? Alright, just attack when you're ready. Wait, can I like... Whoa! That's kind of cool.
Right.
Show me your Cheerio catapult.
I just spent like 2 hours just cutting out fabric, and my knees hurt so bad.
Alright, here she is for everyone who's wondering. She hates getting her nails clipped, so that's something we gotta do sometimes though, baby, so you don't hurt yourself, right? I don't think she ever grew out of her curious little toddler phase. Like, she's still kind of like a fussy baby. Like, every hedgehog has a different personality. Hers is like jumpy, paranoid, grumpy toddler girl. But that's about it. She's also kind of like a tightrope walker, if you haven't noticed. She likes... I know you can do it by yourself, okay? But like... Actually, no, I can't. I'm worried she's gonna fall off of my sleeve.
I'm recording this with my chin because I'm too lazy to grab my tripod, which is over there. You guys. Hold on. I gotta show you. Ow. I got poked with my pins. I feel so pretty. I mean... I just feel like I would be, like, could you imagine, like, me going out into a field to pick wildflowers with my little daughter or something? Like, I feel so heckin' cute, like the world's cutest mother, or I don't know, like, or I feel like a British nanny. Y'all, I feel so magical right now, look at them.